Y'all, the way my jaw hit the floor when I read his birth year, he's older than my freaking mother. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Gray in Between, where we explore the stories that thrive in the space between right and wrong, clear and confusing. I'm your host Lola, and together we'll dive into the captivating tales of Reddit and beyond, where life's most complicated moments take center stage. In a world that's really black and white, we're here to navigate the in-betweens, offering fresh perspectives, thoughtful advice, and plenty of heart. So get comfortable and let's journey through the gray together. Woo, here we go. My girlfriend cheated on me and all of my friends knew. I met my girlfriend through my best friend, let's call him Dave. He introduced me to his friend group and I became a part of it. My now ex-girlfriend, let's call her Emma, was also a part of this group. There were 8 people in the group altogether. We were friends for a while. I liked her and I found out she liked me back. I asked her out and she said yes, and we eventually made it official. We were together for about 2, nearly 3 years, and I was honestly the happiest I've ever been. I thought we were perfect. We never argued, and overall the relationship was great. Well, I thought it was. I was so happy, and in my mind she was the one. I had been thinking about it for a while, but I decided I was going to propose on our 3-year anniversary. I told Dave and he was really happy for me. I wanted to arrange something romantic, like on the beach or something you see on YouTube of these perfect proposals. I wanted it to be something we remembered forever. I wanted all of my friends' help to arrange everything, so I arranged to see them all, excluding my girlfriend, and I told them I was planning to propose. I was expecting the excitement and happiness that Dave showed them when I told him, but they all kind of looked at each other silently. I knew they were hiding something, it was obvious. So I asked what it was, and they all said it was nothing and then tried to pretend they were happy for me. But I asked them again, and one of the girls in the group was shouting that Emma has been actively sleeping with a guy in the group, let's call him Mike, since we started dating. They were all giggling between each other like it was some sort of joke, which I thought it was to start with. Some really stupid, unfunny joke. I kind of laughed it off, but when I looked at Mike, he just said, "I'm sorry," and I could tell he wasn't joking. After a minute, it dawned on me that it was real and not a joke. I stormed out. If I stayed in there any longer, I would have caused a scene. Dave followed me out and told me he had no clue, and I genuinely believe him. I still believe him now. He seemed just as surprised as I was. He let me hide out at his place for a while just so I could process everything and keep away from everyone. When Emma found out I knew, she started blowing up my phone. She even turned up at the house and Dave said he hadn't seen me and sent her away. Dave told me he was going to see them all again and see what actually happened. So he did. And he told me that Emma started sleeping with Mike 3 months into our relationship, and it was something that happened quite often, multiple times a month, the whole time we were together. And she told all her girlfriends in the group, and eventually everyone knew except me and Dave, and no one told me. No one cared that she was cheating on me for 2 years. The only reason they told me was because I was going to propose to Emma. If I didn't plan that, I still wouldn't know. I thought these people were my friends. I was so close to them. They were basically family. I spent most of my time outside of work with them. Anyway, her and Mike are together now, and they're still all friends. I still see their social media stories of them all hanging out, and they even tag me in them sometimes. Probably just to rub it in my face. I should probably block them all, but I don't want them to know that they're pissing me off. I'm obviously no longer friends with them, and Dave also cut them all off because of what they did. So I lost who I thought was going to be my wife, but I gained a friend for life, I guess. It sucks. It's been months since this happened and it still hurts. I still want to cry so bad, but I've got to keep the no cry streak going. When will I actually get over this? Anyone able to speak from experience? Sorry if it's hard to read or seems unbelievable. I think you should cry if you need to. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Dave, though. At least you got one buddy for life. I'm just trying to think if I was like in the situation and I knew one of my girls. I understand why the girls didn't say anything because that's their girl and they're going to protect her first, even if it's bad behavior, which I don't always agree with. But if the girls' boyfriends knew and that you're friends with you, I would have said something. Like for girls, 1000%. If I heard through my man, oh yeah, he's cheating on her, a girl would have 100% said something. But I don't know why guys didn't. Either they truly did not care about you as a person and they never saw you as a friend, or they just wanted to hurt you. Because especially like if I don't know how you can look at. I am really bad. I don't have a good poker face. Like if I know information about someone, like especially something that bad, and we meet in a group, and I'll just look at them and I'm like, oh my god, they have no idea this is going on. They have no idea this is going on. Especially something like that serious. Like I think it's like case by case. But if you know like from the beginning that this person is cheating on you, and you know this information, and you withheld it from someone, that's fudged up. I don't understand why you would do that. I've been trying to comprehend that. Block them. I'm very, very pro blocking people so you never have to encounter them ever again in your life. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to read this title and I'm going to try my best not to cast judgment before reading the whole story. He says, am I the asshole for telling my wife she is not worthy of what she's asking for her push present? This can go both ways. She could be asking for something crazy, which is acceptable because you are pushing out a human being, or he's just like a mean person. So I hope it's the former, but my wife and I have been together for 5 years. She's pregnant with our first right now. A few days ago, she sends me a TikTok video of a woman over one of those extremist podcasts talking about deserving some kind of push present. At first, I didn't even know what that meant, but when I looked it up, it's basically a thank you gift to the woman who brought your child in the world. The concept is and still seems very strange to me. I understand seeking appreciation from your husband for what women go through during pregnancy and childbirth, but it's the materialistic part that gave me the ick. The woman on the TikTok went on and on about how it's a body for a body, which meant the man would have to get a permanent tattoo on his lower body, give her a house and a car as a gift exclusively to her. I felt that those expectations are very entitled, honestly a little vindictive, envious, permanent tattoo part, and very over the top for my taste. The decision to bring a child in this world is both partners' decision. My wife in our case is not forced to be a mom or be pregnant, as she wants to be a parent too. I simply replied to the TikTok with laughing emojis and moved on, thinking it was the end of it, and probably thought she meant to send the TikTok as satire like, oh, look how dumb this woman is, thinking she deserves all that. She was in the other room when I reacted to the video, so she comes to me and tells me that she doesn't expect a tattoo and a house exclusively for her, but she wants me to dip into my personal savings to get her a car exclusively for her. I looked at her, almost shocked, and began laughing. I thought my wife and I had similar views on how extremist people can be, and I was wrong. I thought she was joking, and I pressed her if she was actually serious, and she got very annoyed that I thought she was joking and probably imitating the entitled woman on the reel, and she flatly said that she expects a real push present. I said that her gift is the gift of parenthood and the realized outcome of a healthy baby. And materially speaking, I'll probably get her a Mother's Day card, a day out, or some jewelry she wants. Totaling under $700, but nothing more. I said if she really wants an extra car, it'll be our car, not just hers. She pressed more and said how it isn't enough for what she will go through. She kept pushing and asked me if I think she's not worthy enough. I told her she is worthy as my partner and the mother of my child, but she has to be realistic and realize that none of us, individually speaking, is worthy of what she's asking for. That she has to manage her expectations because I don't see why she feels she deserves that. It came out wrong, but I didn't mean to dismiss her as a person. She isn't speaking to me and is crying, arguing about it. I heard her criticizing me to her sister on the phone, but under no circumstances would I ever consider gifting her a car. I feel bad she is hurting right now, but I don't feel bad for giving her a reality check. I am for push presents. Let me set that right there. I think it's a really cute idea. It's just a little extra something to show the appreciation for your significant other for birthing your child. But I see that social media does blow this out of proportion because there are people out there who are a lot more wealthier than the common folks, and they get very, very materialistic, expensive things for push presents. They get luxury cars. They get diamond bracelets. They get like very things that we could never afford in this lifetime. So that's like the toxic side of social media. I've seen like, how do I say it? Like I have been around people who've gifted cars to their wives for having a baby, but it's not like they didn't label it a push present. It's I'm getting the mother of my children a big ass SUV to protect her and my kids when they go driving. And it's like their family car, but it's like the wife gets to pick what color and everything. And I wouldn't mind that either. It's like, hey, let's go get a car because we can't fit anymore in our car. And let's go, whatever car you want, I'll get it. That's okay. But not saying like, imagine like you have a family of 4 and you go and buy yourself a 2-seater Porsche for your push present. That doesn't make any sense. Like I would want a big ass SUV that me and my husband would drive exclusively together, but not something that is just mine. There is no mine. I think after marriage, it's ours. I mean, even if you gave me like spicy ass Thai food as a push present, I'd be happy. I think it's to answer, I don't think you are the asshole. I think influencers really are ruining people and they're ruining the perception of what you should expect in reality. Like your point, you said your last sentence, reality check. I think the gift should be just something meaningful and to make the other person happy. There shouldn't be a price tag on it and say it has to be this amount or you don't love me and things like that. When you're watching stuff on social media, people have to realize how much of this shit is fake and how much of this we're never going to attain in real life. Like even looking at me, like I'm nowhere near what you see on social media, what those kind of people are. Like my style is a lot different. So if it's very natural to be jealous of that kind of stuff. So for your own self, you have to look and like delete the app. If you cannot handle it and it's going to affect your everyday life and say, why is this not me? You cannot handle social media and you need to delete it and not watch other people live a life that you wish you lived. And I think these videos are going to wreck relationships. Am I the asshole for implying my friends are being cheap over my wedding? Oh, wedding drama. I don't think friends can be cheap over weddings, but I could be proven wrong. I, 38 female, am marrying my fiance, 38 male next year. I'm the last one of my friends to get married, and honestly, I'd made my peace with being single and getting a dog before I met my fiance. I'm part of a group of 6 girlfriends who have all known each other since college. We've been through everything together: breakups, holidays, weddings, babies, promotions. When I told them I got engaged, they seemed happy and sent me congratulation messages. But when everyone else got engaged, they threw them parties or went out to dinner to celebrate. They didn't in my case. I gave them nearly a year's notice on my bachelorette party, which I'm keeping low-key as I don't want a big thing. We're going for dinner and drinks at one of my favorite restaurants in our city. However, slowly, all of my friends have been dropping out, saying they can't get a babysitter or they have to work late or they're on a work trip. I've obviously invited them all to the wedding as well, which again is a small affair, and one has already messaged the group chat saying she's not sure she can get a babysitter for that day. My wedding is months away and I'm finding it really hard to believe that she knows that far in advance. 2 others have also said they're not going to stay for the reception as they will be tired by then. Here's where I may be the asshole. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I sent the link to the registry. My fiance and I already have a house together, so we're asking for mostly small things. Nothing goes beyond $50, and we're delighted with anything that anyone chooses to buy us. They sent a message into the chat saying that they were going to band together to get me an air fryer as a group gift. It cost $40. So, wait, out of 6 girls, they got you a $40 gift together? Oh my gosh. I have a lot to say, but let's continue. It cost $40, so I was a bit surprised that they seemed to be chipping in about $8 each. Over the years, I must have spent thousands of dollars on their weddings, 2 of which were overseas. I've attended dinners and brunches to celebrate their job promotions and bought gifts for their babies, all the while feeling terrible about myself watching my friends celebrate the happiness I never thought I'd get. I sent a message just asking for clarification if it was all of them buying it together, and one replied asking if I was calling them cheap, and then there has been dead silence. That really wasn't my intention, but it really feels like because I'm last, they're just over having doing these events, and it's really feeding into my insecurity at getting married so late. But they do have legitimate reasons for these things. They all have lives and kids, and maybe not as much money as when we were a bit younger, and maybe I'm just letting my insecurities get in the way. So, am I the asshole? Absolutely not. These people aren't your friends. And I'm sorry to have to say this, you were never really part of that circle. Find a new friend group. These people are the cheapest people. They do not like you. I can understand if you've been together for a group for so long. Let me tell you why. I'm in a very diverse group of friends. Some of us have kids, are married. Some of them are very single, ambitious, working women. But we make sure that whenever that person's time is getting married, we go all out for the exact same way we went for that first person who got married. In that case was my sister. We all throw lavish bachelorette parties, lavish bridal showers, a really good wedding gift, right? If you're my close, when you're that close knit of people, there's a few people that I would give over a certain dollar amount for. And that's, I would assume in the same case as you. I'm sorry. This sucks. They're not good people. In our situation, obviously a lot of my friends are married. When I get married one day, inshallah, they already have kids, but they already know here, husband, watch my kid. I got to go be here for my best friend. I got to be here for my sister. I got to be here for these people. Priorities. You are not a priority to them. Regardless of the age, you are not a priority to them. People, there's a word for this. It sounds like you're their leftover friend. Basically that one awkward person that has been in your group forever, but isn't really anybody's friend. Aside from maybe that one person who brought her into the group in the first place. And the fact that they're already throwing it out there, I'm going to miss your this, I'm going to leave early. What? Absolutely. The air fryer thing would piss me off. I would revoke all of their invitations. You're not going to ship. Absolutely not. So she does give us an update. She goes, "Hi everyone. I didn't think I would have an update to give, but I wanted to repay everyone's kindness. Some people said some really lovely and helpful things. First off, I wanted to clarify a few questions that were asked. I didn't care at all what they bought us as a gift. I didn't care if they got us a gift at all. It was never about the air fryer. I really wasn't calling them cheap. I was just clarifying if it was coming from all of them. I also didn't ask if they were getting us a gift. They brought it up themselves. I couldn't put my finger on why it made me feel a bit weird. I think the word I was searching for was disrespect. Someone said an $8 gift is worse than no gift, and I think that's the heart of it. The money issue came up as well. As far as I know, all of my friends are fairly solvent. We all work in the finance field, mostly as accountants. 3 are very senior in their firm, and all of their husbands have good jobs. But we never discuss money, and I know kids and the cost of living is high at the moment, so I never want to assume anyone's financial status, but everyone seems okay. The other issue is a lot of people asked how often we see each other, and the answer is quite regularly. We made a pact years ago to meet at least once a month, no matter how crazy life gets, and we've mostly been able to stick to that. The 6 of us usually meet for Sunday brunch. Apart from that, I live in the same neighborhood as 2 of them, so we do dinner occasionally and parties for their kids are a must. The last question was, my wedding isn't child-free and is in our city. I love kids and my friends' kids are surrogate nieces and nephews to me and they are all invited. The friend who said she couldn't find childcare said she didn't want to bring her kids because she said weddings are easier without them. Oh my god, this is like a golden friend. I feel even worse for you. What the heck? Lastly, some suggested they don't like my fiance. They've never given me that impression. Everyone seems to get on well enough. They've known him for 2 years and he occasionally goes golfing with some of their husbands. Now onto the update. Reading the comments was like having cold water thrown over me. I've never considered myself the outsider friend, but a lot of people suggested that I was, and it really threw me off and I got really overwhelmed. I didn't send any message to the group chat, even though lots of commenters gave me really good suggestions about what to write, and I withdrew into myself until my fiance prized it out of me what was wrong. I showed him this post and he got super quiet and really angry. I've never seen him this angry over anything. He asked if I'd spoken to them about this and I said no. He started to call them individually and read them the riot act. He called them $8 assholes and said he would be sending them an itemized list of the thousands of dollars I spent on them over the years. He called bullshit on the one who said she couldn't get a babysitter, and she indeed said she was sick of having to go to the same boring wedding over and over and yours won't be any different. And he lost it at her. I hate the idea of him fighting my battles for me, so I asked him to stop after the third person. I sent a message into the group chat asking if we could all speak as a group, and the three he called sent voice messages saying that my fiance was a psycho and that they wouldn't speak to me anymore. I just felt really tired and defeated, so I sent a message saying that if they didn't want to be friends anymore, that was fine, and to consider the invitations withdrawn for the bachelorette and wedding. No one has replied, so I guess we're done. I suppose I'm better off, but I don't feel that way. I just feel numb and sad. They've been such a big part of my life for so long, and I really feel the loss, and I'm so sad I won't see their kids anymore. Some of them refer to me as auntie, and it's making me cry that I won't see them grow up. My fiance has apologized for rushing in and for not asking me how I wanted to handle it, and I've accepted. We're good, and I'm looking forward to our life together. I mostly wanted to say thank you to the kind Redditors that showed me the light about this and offered congratulations on our wedding and even offered to buy us a gift. I just want to put this behind me now. You know what the worst part is? How coordinated all the friends in the group were. Like, they were all on the same page about this. So they were talking about her behind her back for a long time. And you know what sucks? I don't think she's ever realized that she was giving more than what she was getting back. I'm really good at that. And I like, if I realize I'm the one giving a lot more to this friendship than I'm getting, like, it should be an equal part. Sometimes I'll pick up the slack, sometimes you'll pick up the slack. I get that. But if I feel like I'm bothering you and I don't feel like you care, I'm not going to reach out to you anymore. But the fact that this was a group, right? And you guys did so many for all the other friends, like, I would feel a certain way if I didn't get that same treatment either. And an $8 wedding gift is bonkers. What would you do? My 30 female partner of 8 years, 44 male, lied about his real age by Allah. This is crazy. I currently can't sleep because of all of this. Back in 2016, I met and fell in love with a guy. We'll call him Max. Max and I hit it off immediately, and our relationship started very quickly. I was 21, almost 22 at the time. In the first week or two of seeing him, I asked how old Max was. He's the kind of person who looked like he could literally be any age, and it was hard to tell, which is why I asked. I mean, you don't have to have a reason as to why you asked, because someone you were talking to, trying to be like your partner, you should know their age. You don't have to have a reason to ask. He avoided the question at first and then asked me, how old do I look? I guess somewhere around 28 to 30-ish. He smiled and said yes, that was right. I pushed for the exact age and he admitted he was actually 36. He asked me if that was okay. My age gap allowance had been 7 to 10 years. A 15-year age gap was confronting, but I really liked him and we got along really great, so I told him it was okay for me, though that would be the maximum age gap I'm comfortable with. We went on to be in a long-term loving relationship for 7-ish years. Currently, we are now going through a very long, drawn-out, heartbreaking breakup. It's complicated. I don't have time to get into all of the details here. He thinks I don't express my emotions well, and I think he's manipulative and simply doesn't like whenever I have a negative emotion. We have to remain living together for now, separate bedrooms and bathrooms. About a week ago, he left to go on a much-needed trip, and I've been loving having the house to myself. But today, I stumbled upon the truth. I'm not going to get into how I came upon it, but it was an accident. I came upon his birth date written on an official document. He had always been super secretive of official documents and made sure I never really saw them. Y'all, the way my jaw hit the floor when I read his birth year, 1970. He's literally 24 years older than me. He's older than my freaking mother. I'm literally flabbergasted. I feel so... oh my God, I don't even know. I feel disgusting, honestly. I feel violated. This man lied to me just to get me and then continued to lie. Like, was he ever going to tell me? He wasn't 36 when he met me. He was 46 and I was 22, barely out of home. I'm questioning reality right now. Like, what other secrets have I missed? Did he have a family? Is he a criminal? Like, what the heck? I feel totally blindsided and disillusioned, like I'm living in the Truman Show or something. I feel like this can't be possibly real, but it is. I'll start looking for housing alternatives. I really just want to kick him out. I've emailed my therapist already, so don't worry. I'm going to wait until he's back home to confront him about it. How would you confront him? Has anyone else been in this situation before? What did you do? And what happened when you confronted them? Oh, I'll update in a few weeks, damn it. Let me say this. I wouldn't confront him. The relationship is over. You've already made certain of that. You have nothing to gain from this. He might become dangerous. I'd be scared. Who is he really? You really don't know this man. If this went on for 8 years, lying about this, he is hiding way more. Tell people you trust about this breakup and about this information and leave as soon as you can. Get out. Stay safe. All right, you guys, it's time for my favorite part of the episode, Viewer's Corner, where you guys send in your real life stories and dilemmas and ask for mine and the viewer's opinion. All right, let's go. Am I the asshole for secretly hating my mother-in-law? I mean, people openly hate their mother-in-law, so what's the difference if you secretly hate her? We will start from the beginning. When my now husband, 31 male, and I, 28 female, met, he asked me up front, did I want any children? I told him no. He has 2 children from a previous marriage, 13-year-old girl and 11-year-old boy. So he scheduled a vasectomy. A little over a year later, we decided to move in together and he proposed the day I officially move in with him. Everything was great. I got offered a great job about 2 weeks after the move and I couldn't be happier. Then about the 4th or 5th week, I took a pregnancy test just to reassure myself because I didn't have a regular cycle at the time and it was positive. I called my husband freaking out. He came home and I'd taken 5 different tests at this point, all positive. He called his parents and told them the news and his mom said, is it even yours? This literally broke something in me because my husband is the first person that's ever treated me right. He gets him off the phone shortly after saying yes, but I'm going to the doctor to get more information. He goes to the doctor the next day and they tell him in fact he does have a few live swimmers. Not many, but it only takes 1. Which for him, this erases any doubts that it might not be his baby. And we talked everything over and decided to keep the baby rather than putting it up for adoption. He tells his parents this and they're skeptical, but they accept. A few weeks pass and I overhear his mom on the phone making comments like, yeah, I got another grandbaby on the way. Yes, he did have a vasectomy. He sure did. I had paid for it. As she walks to a different room and shuts the door. Over the span of my pregnancy, she makes comments like, I'm not the one that made that baby. And she's going to have to understand that your kids come first. Keep in mind that this was in the middle of the pandemic and no one was allowed to go in with me to my doctor's appointments. So when it came time to find out the gender, my husband and I decided that I would tell them to give me the results in an envelope that he and I could open together. They did the necessary scans and confirmed with my blood work. We opened the envelope together and it's a girl. I wanted a girl so bad. I had already decided on a girl name because my husband said it was a boy the whole time and promised me I could name her if it was a girl. We shared the news with our families and friends. The next time I visit my mom, 2 hours away, she gives me a very cute purple baby outfit with little elephants on it. I get home and mention it to my mother-in-law and she says in a low tone, I wanted to get you your baby clothes first. I was waiting for the next sonogram to make sure it was a girl though. This really rubbed me the wrong way because this is my parents' first, probably only biological grandchild. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, has 5 other grandchildren, minus my daughter, 6 in all. Fast forward to my daughter being born, and we can have no visitors in the hospital, and we get stuck there for almost a week because my daughter came late in the night after being in labor for over a day, and they had to do blood work due to her running fever when she was born, so they held us over the weekend. Everything turned out fine in the end. My daughter turned 1, and my husband started noticing the tension between me and his mother and was constantly asking me about it. So I decided to be the bigger person and wipe the clean slate if his mother apologized. He told her what was said and we all sat down after dinner and both of his parents apologized, but they also played victim and said that it was justified because they paid for his vasectomy and why couldn't I see their point in making jokes about the situation. I was angry, but I let it go for my own mental health and for the sake of my marriage, but I secretly hate my mother-in-law. Am I the asshole? Absolutely not. Like I said, people publicly hate their mother-in-law. There's nothing wrong with that. And for good reason too sometimes. In these kind of situations, you just have to maintain your distance. Your priority is your husband and your kids. You do not have to have a good relationship with his mom. Would it be nice? Of course, but you do not have to, right? Why the hell did they pay for his vasectomy? That's even weirder to me. And then flaunting it in their face. Like, you should be smart. Everyone knows vasectomies aren't even 100%. certain that it will prevent pregnancies. There's only one way to prevent pregnancies is not sleeping with someone else. That's the only for sure way that you will not have a baby. Nothing is 100% guarantee. And then I don't like fidelity jokes. I don't think they're funny. I think they're distasteful. If you want to have a relationship with her and you seem hurt, which I can very much tell, have that conversation with her and draw your boundaries and realize that if she crosses it, she doesn't care about you. So people are different. You have to learn about their quirks and stuff and like what their sense of humor and things are. And then once you understand that some things rub people the wrong way, if you continue to do so, then they don't respect you. Yeah, but it's not a bad thing. Like you can have these negative emotions towards her. But I think if you want to continue to have a relationship or you want to be in her life presently, actively, then you should have a conversation. Or if you don't care, you just step back and you let your husband deal with that shit. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of The Green Between. If you have a story to share or a dilemma you'd like me to weigh in on, don't hesitate to reach out. Remember, life isn't always black and white. There's beauty in the gray. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep exploring the in-betweens. Bye!